Who the fuck is this guy? Sloppy job, Mossad. Actually, I don't think the Mossad is involved in this one. It's probably CIA. You know, it's funny. These days, a lot of them work together, even though they don't like each other. Burning the incense this morning. Gee, can you see why Christians will never accept me as one of their own? Well, I have to fucking, you know, I think to really learn about the shit you're fighting against, you gotta kind of take a dip into it to a certain extent. Like, I take the Luke Skywalker Dark Empire method, you know? You kind of gotta get into the shit, right? To know what the shit is that you're up against. But, yeah, the CIA and the NSA and the Mossad, a lot of these guys compete against each other. They try to fuck each other over. Sort of like how the cults that run the world do. You know, how Trump's little group is always trying to undermine Clinton's little group. One uses kids a lot more extensively. One doesn't really. They do, but not to the same point where they need like a pipeline of children. And that's why I'm on here now doing this now, because I was making another video. Well, I was trying again to make a video about this guy Ammon. So I thought he was really interesting. I saw him when he first appeared, when they first placed him in the public consciousness on the Danny Jones podcast, who also I think is like, who's that guy? Who's he? You know what I mean? And I was fascinated by the whole thing. And so I was going to do a video about it back then, but then like more stuff came out about him and learned more, and I said, I'm going to table this for now. So then he appeared on Danny Jones again, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this guy. There's some really interesting stuff that I picked up here. And I was just editing that video when I learned that he's trying to fucking do the Babylon working. And I didn't know that. I missed that whole thing. I watched a podcast with these people talking about him, and this woman gave his sort of his life, not his life story, as you'll see, but his story up until since the time he appeared on the scene, and what he's all about. And yeah, he wants to fucking do the Babylon working. That's if you don't know what that is, it's bringing about the Antichrist. Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard tried doing it, and they fucked up, kind of, or just lost interest or something. And Jack Parsons got himself blown up. It's a Crowley thing. It's about bringing back the Antichrist. I guess from what they explained on this program I was watching, that he's trying to get this together, and his followers that he's recruiting into his little group there. Which when people used to tell me he was doing that, I thought they were joking. My idea of the guy was he was just some renegade sort of classicist that was trying to get people to know the truth, is what I thought it was. I liked him. I thought he was cool. I went to his, I watched some of his shows, and I like his whole thing. Now clearly to me, it's a complete character. He's playing a character. That's not a real voice people have. It sounds like, if anything, that he's come upon that voice to try to cover up his real voice. That's just what I think. As a person who did a lot of voices their whole life so that they could speak, I was in a situation where I was a really bad stutterer. I couldn't talk. So if I could imitate someone else, I could do it. I could speak. So for many years, I just did a bunch of crazy voices. Until I reached around puberty, and then, you know, the stuttering went away. So to me, that's the voice it's put on. Marcus Aurelius, and they gave the drugs to the women. It's really affected. It's like I don't know. It's a put on voice to me, in my opinion. But and then I find all this stuff, right? And it's like, this was a guy. I mean, it's clearly him. You know, what he looks like now is maybe they have some kind of aging thing. I mean, the CIA can do anything with you, with latex and stuff. And there was an Anon that posted this thing about him where they were trying to show that this is a Rogan operation. It was pretty interesting. He was using he was using CIA. He was using AI to show the room they're sitting in is actually Rogan's same space. They just switched around. And Rogan is a kid. And Ammon is Almond Benjamin. Owen Benjamin. It was pretty schizo, pretty out there, real like Aaron Haywood type stuff. Except Aaron's pretty, you know, he's usually right about everything. But yeah, it was really weird, and there were other people saying that, you know, they're both controlled assets, and yeah, I believe that whole thing. I mean, I don't know. You don't know for sure, man. But then I come across this stuff, it's like, what the fuck? What is this? Usually they're a little bit better about having this stuff sitting around, but it follows the trend of like when someone becoming an asset, if they pluck someone out of a military background, like perhaps is what they did here, tatted them up, because you get tattoos, right? And they're all very specific to who he is as a character. It's almost like the fucking Joker from Suicide Squad. Most people don't get tattoos that way. You know, like I have a lot of different, you get one, and you're like, oh, it's pretty cool, and you have it for a while, and they add something else. And they usually, because they happen throughout life, there's different, like, fucking interests, you know? I got my band on mine, I got comic book things, different things that were significant at the time. Usually, I'm not saying everyone does this, I'm not saying he did this, but usually that's how it works. It looks like he got those tattoos put together in, like, a fucking Hollywood costuming fucking session, because they're all related. Like, they're all kind of about the same thing. It's like the fucking Joker from fucking Suicide Squad. You know? It's like he should have he should have Jesus on a cross over his heart with like with the Ghostbusters next to it. Might as well. It's like the same thing. So he's clearly a plant, but this Babylon working thing, that's a whole different fucking draw of fish, you know? That makes me think, like, you know, well, they're trying to do the Babylon work. I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. It's weird. And I've seen so many videos about him. There's way more content out there about him than there is actually from him. And I didn't see anyone pick up on this stuff, so just wanted to throw it out there for now, and hopefully someone with a better grasp on YouTube can, or one that is allowed to be seen at all, could kind of take this information, maybe do something with it. I'm getting ready to go outside, do a little walking, so hopefully I can get that going within the hour. One more cup of coffee and 2 more cigarettes. That should be right there. Till next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.